to
Mhm.
close. All right, so welcome to SEC's Peace Talks. Tonight we're closing out the season of nonviolence, and it
Mhm.
is on gratitude, is my topic. Cassie and I picked out all the topics for the past Wednesdays we've been doing. Thank you, Cassie, for helping me with this. And I think we're dead
Oh,
on with all the subjects that we picked
oh,
with forgiveness, cooperation, respect, and
oh boy,
trust. What topic did I miss?
we are
Somebody
missing all that.
healing, I think,
Of
Glenda
forgiveness,
had
I think.
forgiveness. We are to
Oh,
start the
Communication.
habit of forgiveness. So I believe that our peace talks will continue. They won't be around the season of nonviolence. They will actually be around our next subject, which is the four agreements, which I think is a great segue to being peaceful, because if we can be impeccable with our word, don't take anything personally, always do our best, and don't assume anything. I don't think I got them in the right order, but those are the four. And the first one, you can't do the other ones without, is being impeccable. So I think our word to be gratitude, to be impeccable with gratitude, has got to be the biggest thing I want to do. So I'll open with treatment, and we'll get into um, our topic for the night. So breathe in and out that substance that's readily available for us. We don't have to go looking for it. That's what God is. That's what I'm grateful for. That I have a family that wants to know God better, that wants to be in peace, that know that violence creates more violence, and that the more that we go into our inner selves and sit with anything that bothers us, anything that we have to cooperate with or respect or communicate about or forgive, we're here to be grateful for all of it. So each one of us are going to share what we're grateful for, past, present, and projected future. And we know that all we have is now. So whatever we have in our gratitude now bucket will be filled and overflowed as we share with each other tonight what we're already grateful for. So we give thanks for this opportunity to be together because of the magic of Zoom and technology and love. And so it is.
And so it
and
is.
so it
All
is.
righty. Hey, Jackie joined. All right. And see, we got some people invisible back there too that just got off camera. So I will close with Mother Teresa's recipe for peace. We started out with peace when we started this nonviolence journey. And that's how I found it. I met Michael Beckwith here in Atlanta at the Martin Luther King Chapel, and I think he read it, and it's been in my heart ever since. And with my brother that's on the call, Barry, with communication, we started going through practitioners training together with prayer. And there is a step in the steps of treatment, whether you do 5 steps or 7 steps, there's a gratitude step in the steps of treatment. And really, gratitude is treatment to me. I think the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is say thank you to whatever you want. You say thank you, universe. If I'm at the beach, I say thank you, beach, which Peter was bringing up a few minutes ago. So I just say thank you for wherever I am and what I'm doing. And I think I'm more grateful now because I found a family that lets me talk about God all the time. When I was working at IBM, I couldn't mix God in there all the time. I had to put some really fine arts in there with being technical and smart. You don't have to be smart to know God. All you got to do is know God. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to present some things. Happy Academy was actually born as my ministry in 2015, and who knew by 2025, 10 years later, I would be able to really facilitate what I really want and not any model that was already out there, because we actually can create our model because we're a nonprofit of our own. So that's like magic. And so Happy Academy, um, while I was figuring out where I was going to go, I wrote a book, and you guys have seen it. And I was doing my taxes in a couple of years, and I ran across this letter. And I want to be grateful for print because I think I told you that one of my heroes is Harriet Tubman, and she couldn't read or write. And one of the things I do is read and write because I told you Claire Huxtable is one of my heroes from the Cosby Show. She would always say, write it down. You know, she was a lawyer. She was like, write it down, put it in print. You know, let me say, show me your contract. It's like, put it in writing. So since the 80s, it's like, put it in writing. So I want to read this. And I was reading it to a friend today and I teared up. So I hope I don't tear up with you because she was the one that actually called me about 3 weeks ago because we're trying to get money for us. And she's like, you know, Happy Academy, you know, you named it after Pharrell, and Pharrell is giving away $1 million. And I'm like, I'm busy with SEC right now. I don't even know if I want to play with Pharrell, you know? So I came across this letter and I want to read it to you. And this was, I said, greetings, April 14th, 2023. I am Angela Niecy Harmon, a newly published author of Birds of a Feather, and I'm a big fan of Mr. Pharrell Williams. My developing company, Happy Academy, was born from his song Happy. Enclosed are 2 complimentary copies of Birds of a Feather, my first book for children of all ages, available on Amazon or my website, which is included below. 1 copy is for Mr. Williams and 1 copy is for the Good Time Hotel Library, where my grandson Q and I prayed and celebrated his 19th birthday on February 2022 in Miami. That's where I cried. I'm doing better now. So I would love to connect with Good Time Hotel on this book reading for a book reading and signing. I look forward to the possibilities, maybe even meeting the master musician himself face to face. Soar in peace and happiness always. Angela Niecy Harmon, happiness facilitator, myhappyacademy.com. So the books actually came back. I got them in the office. I don't know why they didn't land in Miami where they were supposed to, but I thought about the fact that the universe plays out the way it's supposed to when there's a gratitude clause. And my gratitude is to be able to be free. And my freedom is to be free to be me. And I notice when you start to work for corporations or other people, or they have their own agendas. And I want our agenda is already being established right here at SEC. And our agenda is to make sure that people are happy in their mental health, in their emotional health, in their spiritual health, so they can be happy in their physical health. And it came to me. So I believe that the universe will always bring to us what we need. And we have a witness with Barb living now in North Carolina doing her horses thing. So I think as we live in gratitude, even with stuff that we don't like that happens, and we just give thanks because there's going to be something on the other side of it that's even greater than we think. And you guys, Pharrell need to come find us. Is how I see that now. 2023, I didn't know you, but at 2025, he'll find us. So I want every one of us to go around the table. Those that were facilitators, let me know what you liked about what you facilitated and what you're grateful for. But I want each one of us to say what we're grateful for the past, present, and future. And then I'll close with a treatment because I think gratitude really speaks for itself. So the past I kind of read to you. I was grateful for having a published book, and I got all excited and I thought it would be a bestseller by now, but that didn't play out like that. Present is you. And then the projected future is that we do have a place for children to come to and swim and play, and adults. And on Sunday, people are rocking and rolling, but that every day is something at SEC to be happy about. And then Pharrell can be one of our guests. So who wants to go next? Oh, Mr. Williams. Let me put it nice because we're going to put this on the web. So Mr. Williams. I don't know him yet. When I get to know him, he'll be Pharrell. Look like Peter leaned in. So
Oh
Peter,
yeah, I leaned. I guess it's like when we would do our morning meetings, or if we would have meetings, and if people would kind of, while when the one leading the meeting would ask if there was questions, I would, kind of ask questions, but I would take and ask questions. I didn't have any questions, but I knew there was people sitting in there, and I would have taken and asked questions for others. And I would just go ahead and volunteer just to go ahead and get it over and done with. But that's why I was in it.
Man,
What I liked about these
Zoom
meetings,
is
I
terrible.
liked about how they kind of all tied into the same group, because each one was, like mixed in with one another, and you couldn't have one without the other. And so, and this is, one of the things that I'm grateful for SEC is, and going way back into even last century, when we would have these little discussions, it would take in just somebody would say something that kind of perked my attention about looking at different avenues or looking at different things. And I always I always like the other input from other folks, and it helps me to I feel to make me a better person for what I am, and I'm grateful
Oh
for that.
man.
And that's
I
all.
appreciate that, Peter. I do. I think that's how Barry and I know each other, because I took classes. I liked hearing other people's perspective on things, and it helped me to grow, even if I didn't say anything and other people were saying, because we had pretty big classes. So I'm with you with that. I'm grateful for that. That's how we're friends. That's how we became a practitioner, listening to somebody in my class. So yeah. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I'll
Okay,
go.
thanks, Barb.
Okay, sure. So, I guess past, present, and future. Past, I'm really grateful to have had the privilege to raise my 3 wonderful kids and have a loving family, and just so many great memories. Um, as far as the present goes, I am really, really grateful for all of you and for having found SEC. And I say that so sincerely from my heart. And I'm also very grateful to Spirit to be on this kind of crazy journey that I'm in, even though I'm living in a 12 by 12 room in a barn and I have to go outside to shower and use the bathroom. But I feel okay, I really do. And I get to play with horses and do some horse chores. And the woman that I rent from is wonderful. I talk to her every day. And I feel like it's kind of a stepping stone to the future. And so I'm grateful in advance for whatever that future is going to be. And I have some faith that it's going to be good. I think I'll be okay.
Love it more than
Oh.
that. I love it. Thank
Oh.
you. That's sweet. Girl, you on. Go ahead, Debbie. I hear your
Well,
voice.
Zoom has been horrible. I don't know. I've been bounced out a few times and it's sounding horrible at times, but right now it's okay.
Okay.
So Barb, I just wish you were closer to us, but you are because you're here right now. Um,
Thank you,
so
Debbie.
when I think about, I think you wanted us to talk about gratitude in terms of the attribute that we spoke about. So I spoke about respect, and we all did. And when I think about being grateful for respect, I think about humility and how humility to me means being open and receptive. It means being teachable. And it's very important for me to remember and to remind us all that to me, there's a huge difference between humility and humiliation. I hear sometimes when people want somebody to eat humble pie or think that, okay, now this person's eating humble pie. Well, I think it's good. I mean, I know that there are times when I have felt humbled and I've actually felt like opened, and like, wow, new information, new opportunities. But I don't think that's the same as when, there's that real tough, well, humiliation kind of grading somebody down to size. But I keep getting, it's all okay with God. it's really all okay. And there's really no reason to feel humiliated. It's just that when when I do better, or when I know better, I do better. When we each know better, we do better. And to come from that place of loving kindness feels, I know that that's kind of what I'm focused on and am feasting on these days. And so, anyway, I guess that's kind of what comes to mind for me with being grateful in respect.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Debbie. Hmm. Got me quiet. Who wants to go next?
I guess looks like I'm up.
Okay,
I
yay.
don't see anybody else here.
Yeah.
Well, wow. So what I'm very grateful for from the past are the experiences that I had, good, bad, or indifferent. They have brought me to the present. And in this present moment, I am just filled overwhelmingly with thankfulness because I am full of experiences and full of more wisdom from those experiences. And I'm thankful for the future because I know that it's bright. I know that it's bright. I already see it in my mind's eye. I see it. It's already demonstrated itself because we're operating in the infinite now. And so I'm very thankful. I'm also thankful for wisdom as the umbrella over all of it because I know that that wisdom comes from God. So I'm very thankful to know God.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. You want to go to the room? We'll go to the room. Beth, I see your hands ready to move and talk.
I try to be grateful every day, either at night or in the evenings. I always make sure that I'm grateful because I think so many people. Oh, and actually, we were talking about that earlier. A lot of people don't understand gratefulness or grateful. Even when you even show them or share that with them, you don't get it back all the time. So I'm grateful that I have that insight that I can be grateful and many lessons and the storms and the calms and the ebbs and flows of life. And just I chose a long time ago to be happy, and life is choices, and I choose to be grateful and to keep my joy and be happy and help other people. It is so.
Thank you. It is a choice. I agree. Listening to God is a choice. We can listen or not listen. I mean, I love that. So yes, wonderful. Glenda?
Yes, I'm grateful for everything that's gone before that's brought me to this point in time. I'm grateful, like Barb said, for my wonderful children. I'm grateful for long-term relationship of 60 years, loving relationship. That's practically unheard of, 60 years together. And my topic is healing. And I think healing is something that we need to be aware of as something that's happening in everyone's life, regardless of how it looks at the time. Everybody's dealing with something within. I think we need to be very gentle with each other and remember that we're all in the process of healing and use those words like Debbie spoke of respect and honoring each person's path, whatever that is. And for right now, what comes to my mind that I'm very grateful for, which might seem like a small thing, but it wasn't. Steve was at my house this past week
Who?
fixing Steve.
Oh, okay.
He's
Our guy, yeah.
an extraordinaire.
Yeah.
He was fixing little things, doors that weren't closing good and things that needed to be repaired and just little, but it makes such a difference, those little things.
Yeah.
And to find someone who is capable and willing to do them is just such a blessing. and we had some nice conversations. And one thing I told him that I was going to mention his name tonight in class is something I was grateful for. And he told me that when he does his prayers every day, he always says, let me receive a blessing and let me be a blessing. And I thought that what a nice
That's
prayer
cool.
every day. And I said, well, you certainly are a blessing. You've really blessed me with these things that you've done. So that is what comes to
Oh, Glenda, you filled him up with blessing. I know. Oh my gosh. I keep
invites
hoping he'll come back to be with us.
I spoke to him about that when he was putting our rent
Oh,
back together for D in particular, but we could have other people, I also said. So we were in compliance with that, and we chatted a little, and he loves his music. And
yeah.
I told him, I said, I heard you used to come here. What happened? And he gave me a story, and he might come back. He said he liked doing a daily word. I said, we'll put you up there to do a daily word if you come back. So I planted that seed. So everybody keep watering that
Yeah.
Steve seed,
He
because
misses unity.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was reasons why he stopped.
Yeah.
And once you stop, you
Mhm.
get out of the rhythm. The universe didn't let me get out of the rhythm because I stopped too. I was going to the movies
May I
on
make a
Sunday.
comment
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
before we get into the rhythm?
Yeah.
I want to apologize because I'm a guest, and then
Yeah,
from my
no, you're family now too,
well,
so go
thank you.
ahead.
I was just gonna say from my screen I couldn't see Deborah
Oh,
and
I'm sorry.
Okay,
so
yeah,
no,
Debbie, you're
it's
off screen. Could you see the other
yeah.
people though?
I
Like,
could see everyone, but I couldn't see them at the time. So
okay.
I just want to let you know that
My video. Okay.
I was respectfully a guest. And I have two other comments. One, anybody that's got a dog in the background in their bed, that's peaceful, right?
Oh, let me see. Oh, let me put my
We
glasses.
call
Mine's
I
not
call
in my
that good
bed,
living.
but
I call that good living. That's something to be
Well,
grateful.
show him yours, Jackie. Jackie, okay, look at that other screen.
Well, I
Check
just
this
know,
out.
and there's one, yeah,
Where's
and
Ava?
then
Go get Ava.
that was one thing. Yeah, it was
Otley,
good,
come.
but that was one thing,
Otley.
and the other thing that I would like to say is to the young lady, I can't see the name, that we talked about humble versus humility. I was at Walmart a couple of weeks ago, and there was a very, very nice young woman that came up to me, and she had these shirts. She's from the church, from a church, and she had this shirt on. I mean, she was selling shirts, and the shirt said humble. And she was selling them, and I didn't buy one because I thought about it. If I'm wearing humble on my shirt out here in these streets, I'm gonna get gobbled up, right? So, when it comes to humiliation and humble, those type of things, yeah, we know where we live inside here, but we also know we live out here, right?
Yeah.
So, so I just like the way you made the correlation between humble and humility, right? Because they will gobble you up
Oh,
sometimes
I like that.
if you're
Very
too
good.
you're
Yeah.
too humble.
Here's my
Thank you for
dog.
that.
I got up and
Well, we
turned
still
light on.
can't see you, Debbie.
Weird.
So,
I got up and turned light
you
on.
did. We did see you in the beginning because you didn't have
Yeah,
your
but I
world
got up and
behind
turned a
you.
light,
It's
and
the
I
Okay,
thought,
well, we're gonna go to Cassie. Cassie, you're next.
I'll get my pet out of the picture.
Okay. Oh,
There you go.
okay, Cassie. We can. Oh, there you go, Debbie. All right,
okay,
very good. So, Cassie, we can't see you, but we'll be able to hear you. You're kind of offset from.
you look great to
Oh,
me,
no.
Cassie. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
There's Debbie.
there's
No, there she is. That's Debbie.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You all look great to me.
Okay. Cassie.
Oh, hello.
There's Cassie.
There, Cassie, lean in a little. There she is. Okay.
You don't need-
Grateful for past, present, and projected future.
Well, I'm very, very grateful to have found the SEC.
Yay.
Long time that I've had a community and a real community and people that really encouraged me to be who I want to be. So that was great. And present, I'm just really grateful for the people that I've made friends with, the people that have really encouraged me, that have hung out with me, and you know, um, just made me feel very welcome. And I'm very grateful for opportunities to publish books for people and to help people get their thoughts out into the world and their songs and whatever else they want to put out there.
Yay, awesome, wonderful. Yay. Okay, Jackie.
I'm grateful for my family, my parents who decided I'm not grateful for the fact that they decided to buy property in the South. But they were maniacs, so to buy land here in Alabama is still an anomaly for me. But I appreciate my parents so much for what they were trying to create as far as a place for their children and they thought grandchildren, but they got grand dogs. So and I'm appreciating living on the property that they created. And when I think of leaving, it hurts my soul to even consider it because of what they established and what they created for me. And what I'm grateful for in the present is living here on this space and all of the people who support me, big time, SEC, because you're my family. I have a couple people outside of SEC that are my family, but you are my family, and you've made it okay to live here and thrive. Not thriving right now, but you have created that space for me, so I appreciate that. And projected future, I'm grateful for the opportunity to know that there is a future. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay,
anyway, thank you.
like that. I like that. We're okay. Everybody summons Pharrell as we're talking about our future. If he wants to give me $1
Exactly.
million, he can give us $1 million at SEC, and we get to do what we want with it. So yes, that's my projected future, for us to be millionaire nonprofits. So, who did I miss? Did I miss anyone? Okay, very good. That went kind of quick. We are in the last days of the season of nonviolence. Today's day, I wanted to say also what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my family too. It seems like my family morphs from my DNA family to the family that I select. So I appreciate the family that gave me birth. I appreciate the family that I gave birth to, but I appreciate this family that I'm creating now almost as equally as any other family I've ever been in. I like my IBM family because they gave me the means to do what I'm doing. So I think our families is the world. So I'm really grateful for this whole planet being my family. It's just not DNA. I have brothers and sisters that I haven't met yet, DNA and in the world. So when I was sending out the last several days, we've only got a few more days of the season of nonviolence, I actually used children and the teens season of nonviolence scripts, and I added my own childlike from the teen habits because that's my take on childhood too. So yesterday was commitment. Today's the second, it's release. And we kind of did release when we opened up the year with the burning bowl, when you write down the things you want to let go that's negative. And I think we got to do that throughout the year. It's just not a one-time thing. So, because I had a visitor last week and we were friends for 19 years and I don't think we're friends anymore. So I think when you get into a different space as you elevate and you go higher, your family is gonna change. And I think I'm grateful for every relationship I've ever had. And I just want to say in gratitude and not feel like I'm mourning some, because when we lose somebody in death, we've lost them. But we can also lose someone while they're still alive, is what I'm learning. The friendships can end without a death. So it feels like a death, but it's not. And then my Claire Huxtable.
It feels like a death because it really is.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. And if we go back to, when you go back to like the scriptures, for example, the Bible in particular, we're supposed to die daily.
Mm.
So yeah, it is a death. Yeah. And it's a good thing.
So I'm grateful for rising above the death. Maybe, I think about Jesus with that. I think I know what resurrection is. I think you have to give way to something old for something new to happen.
Yep.
And some real new things have been developing since then. So I just know that there's a power bigger, and I just want to stay in gratitude about that power because I don't know from day to day what's going to happen, but the universe does. And as long as I, give way to, I might not like that, and I was really concerned about it and a little upset about it, a little down about it. But then I started to give gratitude about it, the things that we really liked and the fun we had and how it started, and it must be on to something new. I think because I think the universe is just in divine order for all the topics to speak to tonight. It's gratitude on the heels of that. I want to stay in gratitude about everything. I do. I want to stay in gratitude. And I opened in the mail today. You might not be able to see it very well, but I didn't get to go to her funeral. This is my Claire Huxtable that I was telling you guys about. And this was the picture that was on her obituary that Sunday that I was with you guys. So I grew up with a Claire Huxtable. So I know that family does not always have your DNA. And I've always been on other families before I knew that kind of thing. So I'm grateful that the world is my family and I'm always meeting a sister or a brother all the time and that we're all children. So let's stay in releasing it. When we do have, I released a friend, but it doesn't mean that all the things that were a part of it were gone. The parts that we did have some commitment to will still be there, and the part that doesn't match anymore won't, because one of the things I'm doing is living in integrity. And I think that's why we're doing be impeccable with your word. And he wasn't in integrity. And it's almost like the house kicked him out. I told him this is Happy Academy up in here. So if you can't be happy, if you're not honest, you're not happy. Got to be honest. I think that's a part. You can't get to happy without honesty. It doesn't work. You might can pretend you're smiling but it's not real. I'm all about the realness of it. So I'm willing to let go of falseness or fakeness or manipulation or deceit or hidden agendas or any of that. Even if you were my friend or, as I get closer to God, God weeds out things for me, I think. And so he got the last 19 years, but some people last 5 minutes. I think my brother met Ace. I had a summer love in 2023, and he lasted from May to December. But I saw his veil came off, or behind the curtain came off really quick. But I'm closer to that energy that guides me now. So as long as I stay in gratitude, I think God's going to guide me. Even if it's something I don't like, it'll guide me to something better that I do like. But don't like any of it too much, because we can't like too much or we can't hate too much. We got to just stay in that prayer much, and that's where the answers are, not how we feel. It's where the prayer is. So,
And some people who may have become not friends. I mean, I've had new chapters with those people where sometimes, not always, but where like, oh, we're on different pages now, or we're on a different page together. And, so I mean, it's like reincarnation. An ending might turn into a new beginning, even with that person or with others.
I like that, Debbie. I
Yeah,
appreciate that. My heart receives that very much.
yeah.
Because my inner child is where I'm living now. Because I feel like a teenager sometimes. You might feel like that too, Barb, with this new adventure you're on. I feel childlike sometimes. And then I go to this Zumba class,
Mhm.
and this lady is like 87 years old doing the same thing I'm doing practically. And I feel like a kid next to her. So I do have some contrast that helps me feel like I'm still a kid, because she could be my mom and we're in Zumba class together and we have this ultimate respect for each other and everybody's smiling and laughing and jumping around, and
Yeah.
it just feels like a new family developing, not just with SEC but even in my exercise classes, anywhere I go I am developing a family, and the people that have the
Mhm.
most happy gravitates to me, and the ones that don't I repel. I think it's like that.
Jesus Jesus said to become like a little child, right?
I think I like my inner child,
Yeah.
because she keeps me safe. If she doesn't like it, I don't think I want to do it. My adult will let a predator in. My kid won't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, if there are any other comments, anybody bubbling over with happy, and we need to project. And I won't say need. I like the word need, but we want to project that happy out there, because when I do go out in the world, I do hear what's happening on the news. I do hear what's happening in people's families. People have a tendency to just share with me their most intimate secrets for whatever reason. I've been getting that since I was a kid. But I think people need the happy, and happy, I think, is synonymous to gratitude. I really do. So if we stay in gratitude, we'll be able to share as much of our happy as we can. But if we're not, we're depleted. And I'm hoping that SEC is a place, and Barb is validating that, and Beth is validating that, that we're a place that you can get some peace and get to happy. So. Any other closing comments to let us get to other meetings that everybody seemed to have? I knew this was going to be an easy topic. I didn't want to go to the dictionary.com to figure anything out. But I will close with Mother Teresa's recipe for peace, and one story that I've been watching over the last couple of days over and over again on DVD is Hidden Figures. Hidden
Oh,
Figures
yeah.
really just hit it up for me. That was the year that I found out I didn't really know my identity from my parents, but I knew my identity for myself, because those three women actually worked for NASA, and one of them got the IBM machine working where the IBMer could not get it working. And they look like me. So I'm standing on the shoulders. I'm so grateful for those women that were called human computers. They could calculate like no other, because they got Glenn, what was his name? Glenn, what was our first one to the moon? Oh, John Glenn. Is that his name? John Glenn, I
I
think his
think you're
name is.
correct. I think you're right.
And the Katherine Johnson's calculations over the IBM machine got him to the moon. So just watching that, I'm grateful for the fact that we can go to the moon or beyond the stars. All we have to do is think about it and know about it, stay in our peace about it, because they faced racism and sexism, and she couldn't even put her name on the reports of the files that she created and wrote. But I can put my name on a book and get it published. And that wasn't happening in that day. So I have so much to be grateful for. We could be on this call all night. But Mother Teresa's recipe for peace keeps it solid for me. And I want this to be a part of, we've got a peace poll at SEC. If anybody hasn't seen it, if you're in Dothan, ride by our center. It's out there in our yard. It is from the United Nations. It is registered there. And we actually are symbols of peace. And that's what we will always want to represent with integrity. So thank you everyone for these peace talks on the season of nonviolence for the next 2 days, being committed to release anything negative and committed to release anything negative and commit to everything positive, and refresh that every day. And I think we'll have a happy, peaceful world. And I'll close with, this is our prayer for the night, Mother Teresa's recipe for peace. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you're kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you're successful, you'll win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, others may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best you have anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it's between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. And so it is. I love you. Thank you,
Mhm.
SCC. Thank you. Our new family member, Barry. He'll be popping in from now and then. Maybe I can get him to come down there with me once or twice.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
And
love you guys.
thank everyone for the invitation. Thank you. Thank you. And for inviting me in. Thank you very much.
Coming back.
Yeah.
So good to see all of you.
I was thinking about Barry, even he can come and speak.
Oh, I know. I thought about that. You got an invitation, Barry.
I
All
heard it.
right.
I
Okay,
heard it.
I heard official. That's our board president speaking. So, hey,
Well,
all
thank
right, I
you.
thought that. Thank you, Peter, for
Thank you.
saying
I
that.
appreciate
All
that.
right. Love you guys. Have a great
care.
Oh,
evening.
you guys
Take
have a
care.
good evening. We'll
All
see you.
right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
See you
Bye.
next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Barb.
Bye. Bye, Cassie. Bye, Peter.
Bye, Barb.
Bye-bye.